It's true, I ride an electric scooter, but I really like biking. It's my preferred micromobility vehicle, or better yet, an e-bike. It's more comfortable, you don't have to stand, they have more range, better cargo capacity, they are more stable, and most importantly, you don't have to worry about being assassinated by small potholes. So, with all that being said, you may be wondering why I ride an electric scooter. My name is Nick, and I believe bicycles are the pinnacle of human engineering. Subscribe for regular content. And as much as I love the bicycle, within the city, I actually cover more distance on my electric scooter, over 3,000 kilometers in the past year. Why is that? Well, I, like anyone, have my reasons for choosing a specific way to move around my city. This isn't meant to be a choice between an acoustic bike and an electric scooter. A more fair comparison is between the e-bike and the electric scooter. And this isn't a definitive pros and cons of each, but rather my personal motivations and reasons for choosing one over the other. And to share some context, I'd like to go back a few years before I bought my first electric scooter. I'm what you might call a fair weather cyclist, at least for my commute to work. It involves a 5-kilometer constant uphill all the way to work in the morning and a lovely, mostly downhill ride in the afternoon. The problem is, as soon as the sun refused to rise early enough, or the weather is too wet and too cold for my paltry selection of gear, I would inevitably lack the will to hop on the saddle and end up taking transit, or more often than not, driving. I know, I'm a garbage human. However, one day I decided to buy an electric scooter, this 9-Bot Max, and from that point on, I became a full-time micromobility commuter. Those days that I lacked the will to get on my bike, I no longer got in the car, I got on the scooter. And to this day, I still commute on my bike 3 to 4 months a year, and the rest on my scooter, having mastered the weather with proper gear. But why did I choose an electric scooter? Why didn't I get an e-bike, an EUC, a one-wheel, an electric skateboard? Well, right off the bat, the last 3 of those, while awesome to ride, are a bit more daunting and likely more dangerous, but why didn't I get an e-bike? That is the question. Because as I mentioned it, they are more comfortable, they have more range, they are safer, you can still get some decent exercise, and most importantly, they're my favorite ride. I love riding e-bikes. Well, first and foremost is the price. Electric scooters are often much cheaper than e-bikes. In fact, to get a good quality e-bike, you can easily be looking at a bill of $2,000 to $4,000 or more, while a decent scooter can be found for around $1,000, with the used market flush with good deals. Next is range. For me, I wasn't too concerned about range. My commute is only 10 kilometers round trip, and another regular trip I made was about 20, all doable on but the cheapest and smallest battery-clad scooters. And that's where comfort comes in. That distance of 10 kilometers one way is basically the limit that I would want to stand on a scooter. If I had to make trips longer than that on the regular, I would have surely gone the e-bike route. And the environment has a role there too. My neighborhood has relatively smooth streets, so I don't have to worry too much about the small wheels causing a bumpy ride or getting launched by a pothole. I also didn't need the cargo space. For the vast majority of my trips, I can get by with just a backpack. And while it isn't recommended, occasionally slinging a bag on the handlebars or using the deck for a little extra cargo. I would be much better served by panniers, racks, milk crates, or even a proper box bike in some cases, but for the most part, I feel like that would be overkill for my daily driver. And at the end of the day, the biggest reason that led me to buying an electric scooter in the first place was the convenience. When I go to work in the morning, I roll out of my apartment, down the elevator, and out the door. When I get to work, I can fold it safely under my desk, and I know there's some really portable folding e-bikes like those from EOVolt. Those things are awesome. But that just brings us back to the cost factor. Ignoring the fact that an e-bike would take up more space, I am not allowed to keep a bike in my apartment. So I leave my apartment, I go down to the very bottom of my building's parkade, unlock a bolt and a padlock, unlock my bike, lock up the chain, padlock, and bolt, then ride up 2 levels of parking, which entails opening 2 garage doors on the way, all taking 5 minutes compared to the 1 minute when taking the scooter, effectively adding 8 minutes to my commute every day. So let me ask you, would you rather a 22-minute commute or 30? It's not much, but it's not nothing. So yeah, the electric scooter is simply more portable and better for shorter trips along smooth paths. That doesn't mean I think it's the best form of micromobility. Not at all. It all depends on the circumstances. Use the right tool for the job. For now, this is the tool that fits my lifestyle for most of my 2-wheeled miles. But I am always reconsidering my choice, and as time goes and my daily travel needs change, I expect to see an e-bike in my future, especially if we consider expanding our family. There are e-bikes that are basically minivans of micromobility. They're awesome. But ultimately, the reason I made this video is to say that everybody has their own needs, abilities, comfort levels, and ways that they enjoy moving around. That may mean riding a scooter, a bicycle, a neighborhood electric vehicle, or even a car. Just remember to use the right mode for the trip. And with that, my name is Nick. Thanks for watching.